Muscatine, and happy Wellness Wednesday. My name is Autumn Schultz, and I am your host today. And as always, I want to say thank you to our sponsors, Hy-Vee, Unity Point Health and Trinity Muscatine, Muscatine Power and Water, Becky Insurance, Toyota of Muscatine, Riva Plumbing and Heating, Impact Fitness and Nutrition, Lutheran Living Senior Campus, Impact Life Blood Center, Harper Cycling and Fitness, Muscatine County Fair, and Bayer of Muscatine. Some events that are happening this week: please join the Greater Muscatine Chamber of Commerce and Industry for Business After Hours, hosted by Rebuilding Together of Muscatine County on Thursday, September 8th from 5 to 7. Rebuilding Together is celebrating 15 years of corporate and volunteer collaboration in Muscatine County. There will be drinks and a light meal provided, so please join us this Thursday. On Friday from 5:30 to 7:30 is the Muscatine Community Block Party, and it's back for its 12th year. This is going to be held at Discovery Park. There's also going to be shuttle buses from Musco Bus, so you can also have additional parking over at Crossroads Incorporated. This is going to be several community organizations gearing up to provide activities and resources for our community, and also fun activities for the kids. So come out and join them Friday at 5:30 to 7:30. Also, it is another home game, so be ready to show your Muskie spirit for Friday. Next Saturday is the food truck fight. We had them on a couple weeks ago talking about the Shop with Hops and food truck. So this is going to be at Riverside Park from 12 to 8 on Saturday, the 17th, 16th, 17th. Don't quote me on that one, guys. Don't quote me. But it's from 12 to 8 at Riverside Park, and there's going to be food trucks, live music, kid activities, beverage tent, and so much more going on during this time. While you're going around to each of the food trucks, you can go and actually scan a QR code to put your vote in for the winner that is going to be determined at 7 p.m. for the champion of the food truck fights. This is $10 general admission for the entry gate, or you can also do it with foodtruckfight.com to get your ticket, or go online and also get the VIP experience for that ticket as well. That is only available online. So a bunch of events happening this weekend and next weekend, so I will talk more about them as the days continued today. And today we have two amazing women with me today. One of them has earned an incredible award, and we're going to be talking about her backstory, what she's currently doing, and how she's helping expand with education within our school district community. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
So first of all, introduce yourself and what you currently do.
All right. I'm Miranda Durham, and I teach the IJAG program to 9th and 10th graders here at Muscatine High School.
Perfect.
Great. And I'm Laurie Phelan. I'm the president and CEO of Iowa Jobs for America's Graduates IJAG.
Perfect. And Miranda, so tell us a little bit about your backstory, because you didn't start in education.
I did not. Actually, after high school, I went to Iowa and MCC, and then I joined the Army. So I was gone for close to 10 years as a combat medic and a trauma nurse. I still have a nursing license. I volunteer. But I was running a healthcare company, and suddenly found myself in a position where I needed something new. And I started substitute teaching, and I thought this would be a great interim job. I have my degree, it'll be fun. And I really liked it. And I was requested a lot in the high school, and I realized those were my people. So I started figuring out how I could get into education. I'd always done that in my previous roles. And I came across IJAG, and it was a perfect fit. We come from all different backgrounds. We have lots of social workers. My degree is in science and healthcare, and this allows me to actually teach a classroom of students career prep and soft skills to be successful in life after high school. So it has just been an amazing journey.
Can you describe what soft skills technically means?
Yes, so we work a lot on things that are important to be successful in the workplace and in life. Being on time, so attendance, grades, doing quality work, just really how to introduce yourself professionally to someone else, extending your hand and introducing yourself to peers or employers. We work on proper speaking, professional dress. We work on resumes, mock interviews, help them fill out applications. I've helped fill out multiple Hy-Vee applications, to be honest. We have several students probably running around here at night and on the weekend, but just basically everything that they need. We follow them for a year after graduation, help them with scholarships. My job is to help my students figure out who they want to be and where they want to go after high school. So we want to get them across the stage with a diploma and get them into college, the workforce, trade school, the military. And a big part of my job is helping them identify which of those paths is right for them.
where was this when I was in high school?
Right.
Like, where was
We
this?
didn't think of it yet, did
Right.
These are just kind of like basic skills that obviously we don't learn in an everyday classroom. So I love the fact that this is something unique and that you can provide to help just guide, truly
Yes.
guide them. And so when it comes to your current class, you said you're teaching 9th and 10th.
Yes, I teach 9th and 10th graders, but we also do have John McConnell teaches our 11th and 12th graders. We do a lot of exploration. They do a little more focused work, job shadows, internships, externships, working on scholarship applications, learning about the FAFSA. We all know how fun that is, how to fill that out. And then we also just launched a 7-8 program at the middle school. Olivia Forrest is teaching that. She is doing an amazing job so far. I believe she already is just an outstanding person at that school for those kids. So we are really happy to have our full program here.
And so how many years have you been doing the IJAG program at the high school?
So I actually got to launch the program with the 9-10. This is my 5th year. So I was by myself the first year, then we added the 11-12 the following year, and 7-8 this year.
And how did you find the program?
Actually, like I said, I was looking to get into teaching, and I found this position, and I interviewed with IJAG in the school district, and I felt it was a perfect fit. And so IJAG put me through quite a bit of training, some licensure from the Board of Education, and then keys to my classroom, and off we go. So my first year, I think I did a good job, but maybe because I didn't really know.
You did a good job. Obviously, you did a good job because you're still here in your 5th year.
But I had some amazing students, and I actually was really lucky to be invited to be faculty at graduation this past year. So some of my very first semester IJAG kiddos, I got to watch them walk across the stage to get their diplomas, and it was just a really great feeling. We have successes and failures, and sometimes it's easy to get down on yourself, and you're like, did I do anything effective today? But to watch those kids walk across that stage and with their diplomas was just, this is why we do this. This is why I do what I do with the company that I work for.
That's always so neat that you get to watch them grow throughout those 4 years. And then even, I'm sure you're staying in touch with a lot of them even afterwards too.
Absolutely. I have some students that'll call and say, hey, do you want to meet for coffee downtown? Or, I did have a former student stop by and emailed and said, hey, filling out an application, would you look it over? Would you talk to me, talk me through it? And that is such a good feeling to still be able to be there for them afterwards. And that's a big part of what we do at IJAG is forming that relationship. Like I've said before, my goal is to be the person for my kids that wasn't there for me when I was in school. The resource, the guidance, and just someone they can depend on and know that even if we have a bad day, we're coming back again tomorrow, we're going to try again, and we're going to move forward.
You are a core memory in their high school years.
I hope it's a good one.
And college. It's definitely a good one. So let's learn a little bit more about IJAG, and we're going to take this over to Laurie.
Great.
So President and CEO, what exactly is IJAG, and where is kind of home base located?
Yes, good question, but I'm going to start with IJAG is like this person right here. So
that is a great
definition. She doesn't
definition.
brag about herself enough, but the young people that she works with who struggle and don't know who they are or where they're going, she helps them find themselves and find hope. So if you want to think about IJAG, think about someone that looks and acts like Miranda. Iowa JAG, we started in 1999 as a program that really was designed to help school districts and in particular middle schools and high schools that were struggling with a population of young folks that have had some trauma in their life or challenges, or maybe they just lost direction for one reason or another. And our traditional systems don't have the structures and time to be able to spend with them to help them really get to know who they are, what their hopes and dreams are. So IJAG came into being, and we started out small with 6 programs. We'll be 151 programs by the end of this year, over 8,000 young kids across the state of Iowa. Because of outstanding specialists like Miranda, we have 98% of our kids are graduating, going on to continued education work, the military, national service, doing amazing things. They start out maybe working at Hy-Vee and then managing and running Hy-Vees, or in companies around the state that are paying them. They're able to get into careers that they care about and love, but also make a wage that leads them to sustainable wealth. And that's what we hope for all of our children. But it all starts. IJAG is an amazing organization. I've been the only CEO we've ever had, 24 years around. See this? I had dark hair at the beginning. But it's when we find people that believe that their future really is about helping somebody else move forward, like Miranda was describing. We say that they're little angels walking on the planet, because that's what they're doing. They're really literally saving lives.
You are now a major face. No pressure.
That's right.
Yeah. No pressure.
Right
Just
there.
keep doing what you do. You're so humble.
Yeah.
I mean, when you read the article and just how you're saying, you know, I'm proud of this, but I'm proud because of my students. I'm proud because of the community and the people that have been backing you.
And that's true, because I can want to do as much good as I can, but without the support of my company, our school district is fantastic. I have worked in a few from subbing, and some of them are great, but really in Muscatine, there is a sense from the staff and the administration as a whole that they care about these students, and they go that extra mile to make sure that they are successful. And even within Muscatine High School itself, I have had such incredible support from the administration, the counselors, my peers, like the other staff, and then the students being willing to come in and try.
Yeah.
You know, when we're learning about something like financial literacy, it is not always the most exciting, you know, dazzling topic, but they believe me when I tell them it's important, and they're like, okay, we'll do this. And just their willingness to show up and try is what really makes the difference, because I can't do it alone.
No. And that's something I wish I would have had in high school.
Yes.
It's something so core that it's those, like you said, these soft elements, the soft core keys that you need to have in your life that you don't really get in high school as a education.
Not always. And I mean, you'll see there's a lot of programs, and a lot of schools are realizing, and even the legislature, that we need to prepare kids for life outside of school. I know when I graduated, I knew how to write a check, because those were a thing, you know, still back when I was in school, 100 years ago. But I didn't know how to really balance my account. I didn't know how to file my own taxes. I didn't know, like, I was shocked when I got my first paycheck in high school. I was like, what is FICA, and why are they taking all my money? And it's just trying to figure out kind of how the greater world works. Is just kind of on your own. And if we can give them some foundation in that, so they are more comfortable, confident, and self-aware when they go out there, then hopefully that will kind of spread.
Yeah, that will just help boost their confidence in and out of the college time.
Absolutely.
I mean, yeah, hello TurboTax. That was my best friend.
Right.
So let's talk about your award. So, Julie, Laura, I'll kind of give this to you first. So talk to me about what the award is, and then kind of just in the sense of how did she get nominated and recognized for it?
Yeah, well, you can see why she probably got nominated and recognized, and her team out here, Ben and Lucy, really, and Yen, our program manager. It's easy to recognize her outstanding performances, but I will probably back up and say that this award is about really celebrating those individuals who are specialists, really putting their heart and soul into the work, and it shows through their students, and it shows through all the things that those young people want to do in their community, recognizing them. And it's called an Outstanding Specialist Award. It's a national award that you're nominated for, so there are 40 other states that have JAGs across the country. Iowa's the best, of course, so Iowa JAG's the number one performer. So all these names go into a hat, and only so many are selected, and of those that were selected, Miranda was pulled up to the top. So telling her story was an easy one to tell, and the things that she does that just go beyond just the school, reaching out to businesses in the community, getting them to see our young people, getting our young people to see the businesses, really going the extra mile. To make a long story short, Miranda did start the 9th and 10th grade program, but it's really great if we can start earlier, so and really follow them through their 11th and 12th grade years. So she brought in 11th and 12th grade and helped that be successful. We just added the middle school, so you've got a full system of supports. That's the kind of leader that you just really want around these young folks, because it's not just the content, it's modeling.
And bring tissues. So
yes, and bring tissues. And modeling for them. I mean, she's an outstanding person and an outstanding specialist, and those kids will follow her off a cliff. I'm not kidding. Like the Pied Piper.
Well, hopefully not.
Don't go off the cliff.
But speaking of my students, I do have to say hi because I feel like I know they're watching. Hello. But I love what I do, and I think that's really important, and that's what I want for my students, is to find a career. I mean, an IJAG specialist would be a great career, but that might not be right for them. So I want them to find their passion, their interest, and be able to pursue that. I mean, we all have to work, realistically, but we want to go to work and enjoy what we do and be fulfilled by what we do. That's just what gives us a sense of happiness and peace in life. And so if I can help them find a position that is for them what IJAG is for me, then we're good.
Yeah, you don't want to just be stamping papers the rest of your life just because it's a good paying job.
Right.
Exactly.
I mean, good paying jobs are great, but you want to love what you're doing.
We have to have a balance, you know, between income and our happiness, like a good work-life balance. And I think that really starts by connecting kids to the community. So one of the things I love that IJAG does is we do fundraising every year, and we do a community service passion project. Like, my students go every month to the district office and pack the dry goods boxes for the food bank distribution. We'll pick that up again next month. They will do the United Way Day of Caring. They will do some other smaller passion projects. It's always children, animals. We've done some things with MCSA, but they each perform 15 hours of community service a year. And I really feel like that helps them feel like a part of their school, their community as a whole, and they see how everything interacts and how it takes so many different working pieces to be able to make that whole operate in a healthy way. So teach them some selflessness too.
Some of the companies that you brought into the classroom to visit.
United Way, Stanley Group. I mean, we've had the police department. We've had so many community leaders and community businesses be willing to open their doors to let me traipse 20 kids through on a field trip and disrupt all the employees all day, because, you know, everybody wants to see what's going on. But the willingness of the community to support the program and the high school in general and these kids to just say, hey, you know what, we want to give you that opportunity to come check it out, come try it on. And their willingness to allow job shadows and internships. We are always looking for opportunities for our kids. So if anyone's listening, give me a call if you have business. But we've worked with small businesses downtown and just kind of a day in the life, you know what I mean? Just giving the kids that real world experience. I can tell them about it, but seeing it with your own eyes and touching it with your own hands is such a better experience.
If kids want to get up at 4:30 in the morning to coach classes, it is actually a lot of fun.
Really? Is that what
you might be a little tired?
I don't know.
But it's so much
how many
fun.
morning people we have at this point. But
probably not 4:30 in the morning.
Not yet.
I have not missed that from the military. I will give you that. I did not.
No.
I am an afternoon shiner.
There we go. And so, you're talking about like the job shadows. Is this your 9th and 10th and 11th and 12th, or?
Our job shadows are fairly limited in 9-10. We are more focused on career exploration. We do a lot of career interest surveys, aptitude assessments. Like, what are you naturally good at? What are your natural talents? If you are not good at math, maybe engineering is not the career for you, but maybe we can find something else that you love. So we do a lot of testing and exploration and just kind of narrowing that field from every possible job in the world down to these few paths might be great for me. And then Mr. McConnell takes over in 11-12 and he says, okay, these are the paths you're interested in, you have an aptitude for, let's get more in depth. And then we start doing more focused projects and more focused visits. Like, we might say, you're interested in healthcare, let's have you go job shadow a nurse for a day and check out a clinic and see what it's about. Or we did the Manufacturer Explorers program through Han several years ago, where we went and toured different jobs in the different plants they have around the community, which was amazing. And they had employees come in and talk to the kids beforehand and then take them out into the actual environment to see what the jobs are. And those are the kind of things we want for the kids, to just see what it's about. It's not, the job isn't always what you think it is. And when you go see it in person, you're like, either great, that's perfect, or ooh, that maybe wasn't exactly what I was expecting. So I think that is the best thing that we can do. We also teach a little bit differently. We know that our kids face issues in their homes and in the community, and just things happen. So we have a trauma-informed care approach that we are super proud of, that Laurie implemented several years ago. So we take into consideration kind of the big picture. And I tell my kids all the time, fair is not everybody getting the same thing. It's everyone getting, you know, what they need to be successful. And that may look different from student to student, day to day. And so we try to make sure that we are always cognizant of those things that are happening kind of behind the scenes. We also use project-based learning, so it is hands-on. They don't do traditional testing per se. Like I said, we do interest surveys and aptitude tests, but we teach through learning, hands-on. So we have projects and the kids dig in and they work together on certain parts. Individually, maybe they do a few things and they come together as a group to create a public product that is their test. So it's kind of their proof of this is what it is.
See why she's so amazing? I mean, it's not hard to be able to see that this person cares so much about these young people that they'll bring the life into the classroom. It's like a school without walls, sort of.
Well, tell that to my students, because sometimes they're like, I don't want to do that. I'm like, oh, well, it's okay. We're going to do it anyway. And they usually will buy in. They're great. I have yet to meet a bad kid. You know, I think we have some kids that come from difficult circumstances or are facing difficult obstacles in their lives, but our job as IJAG and my job as a specialist is to take their hand and say, we can get through this. I mean, sometimes I think kids hear a lot, let it go, you need to get over it, and that's not always possible. We need to come through it, but I'll come through it with you. And we'll make sure that you have support to be successful and get where you want to be in life.
I love the fact that you look at every student as their own individual person. It's not a walk into a classroom, okay, everyone, open up your books to this page. You're looking at each one. And how many do you average have in the classroom with you?
So we do more small group instruction. So my maximum classroom is about 16 students at a time, which gives me the opportunity to work with them, give them more one-on-one attention, and especially with the projects, I can't imagine like 30 students building arcade games.
And how many total do you have in your program?
Well, our 50 to 60. So our max is about 60, but about 16 at a time. So
and that's the 9 to 10th, or is that all of them?
That's program-wide. Everybody. I think we do have an alternative school model.
But I mean, at each level, you have that many kids, don't you?
Yes, 50 to 60 per level. So 50 to 60 in each grade level.
So over 100. I mean, almost, well, follow-up, you probably have 200 kids in your program overall.
Like total?
But the ones I'm actually in front of teaching every day, about 50 to 60 students split into a few little classes.
And I like that. I mean, it's a lot of kids, but at least you're able to break it down and being able to focus on each one. You're in open arms of, you know, we've got this 55 minutes in class, but I'm here for you even outside of the classroom.
Yes, we have several visitors, and that is a big part of IJAG as well, is being available to our students. So even though I don't teach every period all day, I'm there. So they can come in and get guidance. I have gone to class with some of my students who maybe weren't eager to get there. So I think that's just being there and them knowing that. I actually had one of my students say to me, well, all right, I wasn't going to come to school today, but I knew that you would just come find me, so here I am. And you know what? Being there is half the battle, so getting them there and giving them that resource and that safe landing space that if something's going wrong or something's happening, they know they can come find me. I'll help them any way that I can. The one-on-one attention is part of my job that I really love. I really get to know my students and their lives. I wouldn't say they're always thrilled about the one-on-one attention. They're like, oh, I wish you didn't notice that. But to me, that's part of my job. So,
You're also a teacher. You notice things. You notice body language. You notice how they walk in. You see, like, if they're motivated of wanting to actually take part in it. You're like, okay, let's talk. What's going on?
And I think so many teachers, that is such a big part of their days. You know, once you get to know your kids, I mean, some of the high school teachers see 100, 150 kids a day, and they really try hard to get to know those students. And when somebody comes in and they're just not themselves, you can kind of, you might not know exactly what's going on, but you know something's going on. And I think that is something our school does a great job of, is kind of meeting kids where they are. And that is such a huge foundation of our program, is literally taking care of our kids. Our motto is that kid no matter what. You know, we will do anything and everything we can to help that kid, no matter what's going on, no matter what it takes. And I think that such a huge part of that is meeting our kids where they are that hour, that day, that week, and it can change. So flexibility is definitely a big part of the game.
And it's accountability and it's support. And that's something you really, and just talking to you for this half hour already, I see that, how much you reflect and how much you support. I love the fact that my husband just randomly is walking by.
Hello.
Oh, goodness gracious. Pardon me, I'm sorry.
No, that's
that's
okay.
okay. It's like when you're teaching and your kids open the door and pop in.
That's right.
And they say hi, and you love that they're there to say hi, but you're like, wait a minute, what was I saying?
Yeah,
Same
exactly.
thing.
So
He's
you
here
get
to support you.
You get
and
it.
that's
You
what
understand.
counts. I do.
I just think the account that you have, just accountability, the support you put to them, the one-on-one time, and it's just that, you know, you're there for them in the classroom, but even outside.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you get to meet the junior high kids as they transition, like kind of hey, the program goes more than just here?
Yes. So this is their first year. So I've actually spent more time there maybe than usual. Miss Forrest let me go guest teach last week. Went down there, taught a few lessons, got to know the kids, and we do several things together. Like our first big event of the year is actually on Halloween this year. It's our Leadership Development Conference. We believe in student voice and choice, so we actually, the first thing we do every year is elect our own student government, our career association officers. Everyone in IJAG is in the career association, but we elect a panel of officers for things like the Vice President of Civic Awareness and Social Awareness and an Administrative Director, and they go to a conference. So the 7th and 8th graders, 9th, 10th graders, and 11th and 12th graders will all be together at this conference. We're getting so big it'll be split into a few different, it used to be the whole state, but that's too many. So our East Conference will be on Halloween, and they will all go together and get to work in groups across the age groups. And so we'll have 7th graders that are in there learning from our seniors. And there's always older kids that can learn things from the younger kids as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, they definitely have that opportunity. So yeah, Miss Forrest will probably get sick of me because I am always like, we work together a lot. And especially obviously the 9, 10, 11, 12, because we're right next door to each other in the same building. But putting those kids together is such an incredible opportunity for us because it gives the older kids the opportunity to mentor the younger students, and it gives those younger students the opportunity to see what comes next. And so by having like that span and being allowed to work together, they all get something positive out of it. So, and we are really, IJAG's big thing is we are a family. So our classroom is our home, our students and the teachers, our family, and IJAG as a greater part. I've always say I couldn't have survived my first year at IJAG. You know, I depended on the kindness of strangers quite a bit. And my peers, I mean, always just being able to shoot out an email and say, I'm struggling, and have my fellow specialists come back and say, I've got you. Here you go. Try this, try that. Do you want me to call you? I have had so much support and sharing of ideas and opportunities that I feel like my success is so greatly dependent on, like I've said before, my peers. You know, I'm really excited to have won the award, and it's always great to be recognized for hard work, but literally, I look out, and we do our staff retreat for training every year, and I see all these faces of these people, and they work just as hard as I do, and they care about the kids just as much as I do. And part of me kind of felt a little guilty, like everybody kind of deserves this.
You're so humble. I love it.
Well, it's true though. It's just, you know, I couldn't have done this alone. I couldn't do it without, you know, my manager hiding out back there. And, you know, even Laurie, she's the CEO, but I could call her. If I had a problem that I really needed her, I could call her and she would pick up and she would say, what's going on? You know, and she has supported me through some difficult times, and the company has as well. And it's just, to be treated as a person that matters and a part of a family is something that you don't get everywhere. And so I'm really fortunate to be where I am, but also that is what I want for my kids. That's what I want for them to experience in whatever path in life they decide to take.
And when I heard that you were coming onto the show, that right there just over the top just said what this business is about. You're not just the person that's probably at a desk the entire time. You came down here to celebrate. You know who she is, and you know that what they've done here in the Muscatine community. That just says how important this IJAG is.
Oh, she's spent over 2 decades in the trenches. Like, we do IJAG Nation at Camp Jobs. She's out there getting dirty with the kids. She's at all of our conferences.
You're involved, and I love that.
Absolutely.
Well, you can't not be, really, right? Because when you're drawn by passion, like Miranda's saying, and you're coming because this is what you want for those kids, I think that's what we all are, and we attract that type of person as we're growing. I hope a lot of people are watching because we want to expand to other communities. We want more businesses involved. There are more young people that need this program, really, than you could imagine. And when they get a chance to listen to Miranda, when they get a chance to really be able to see this is an opportunity for them to be in a position, no matter what your career background. I mean, IJAG does a lot of training, right? And we've got great folks, several of them now, over 151 specialists across the state that can be helping. And
wow,
it's doing great things for kids, and it's because of the people we bring.
We want our kids to be good employees, and so that helps employers, but we do need a little help from them as well. Like, give us the opportunity, if you can, to come check it out. We do guest speakers a lot, so we've had people come in from multiple different fields and come in and talk about things. Congresswoman Miller Meeks is coming to speak to our students later this month, and so our Career Association Vice President of Civic Awareness, that's what we do. We go up to the Capitol every year for legislative days, and our students actually meet their representatives, and
and Governor Reynolds spends time with us.
Governor Reynolds is amazing. She's on our board. She'll take pictures with the kids. She'll get down and get to know them. She'll answer their questions. They get to touch everything on her desk in her office, which is like their favorite part. But yeah, they watch the legislature in action. They watch the education bill being discussed and voted upon, and that's who funds us.
Yeah.
So we're super grateful to Iowa. I know when I started, we've grown so much. This is my 5th year. When I started, we had like 4 program managers, 40 some programs, and now we have so many new positions and support, and we're at 151 different programs.
Yeah.
So, and I think we're adding 100 in the next 2 years, and it's just amazing to watch everything grow and be able to reach out and help more students.
So,
in more communities.
To help grow even more, so if someone's watching and maybe they are kind of in the same position where they are a substitute teacher and they love what they're hearing and they're like, hey, I want to do that, how can they get involved with IJAG?
That's great. So go on our website. It's ijag.org, ijag.org, and you can look and get in contact with our main office. That's easy. You could reach out to Miranda. That would be an easy one because she's a great sell on that, any of our managers. But easy to go to our website, easy to reach out to Muscatine School District, find the IJAG program, hunt these guys down. We really are looking for individuals that came from all kinds of backgrounds. So if you're in an education background or healthcare or really, quite honestly, social work, any background. We have folks from private industry that have decided to be specialists too. Any community that's interested in having an IJAG program, because they have young people that they'd say have a need like this, which is a lot of kids now. We really want to grow into your community too, surrounding communities. I'm going to get Miranda on a road show with Ben and I, and we're going to go around and start talking about you need an IJAG program. But Governor Reynolds and the legislature and Iowa business and industry and our local schools have been hugely supportive, and that's the reason we're growing and able to attract folks with such talent.
And then how can students, maybe if they don't have this program at their school, how can they utilize your website as well?
Yeah, that's really a great one. So if they get on our website, we have a chat, ability for them just to send a note and say, hey, we need an IJAG program. Or I would say reach out to their young peers at Muscatine or a surrounding community and say, I see you have an IJAG, help us get one. We've had that happen.
Yeah.
We've had schools that have actually not had a JAG program, and they say, hey, my friend needs one over in this school district. So it's really been awesome to be able to see the expansion, because young kids are trying to help each other, even across school district lines, even from grade level to grade level. It's really nice.
Yeah, it is nice. And sometimes I will get, my students will say, I have a younger brother, he's going to be in the high school next year, he needs this class. And so I have had sometimes whole families come through the program, and it's really great to see, because they say, it's helped me, I want it to help you. And now that we have the middle school program, we can catch them a little bit younger, and I think that that will really be instrumental in setting them up for success.
Oh yeah, I mean, starting as early as possible is really truly the way to go. And now you've got them from 7th to 12th grade, so they can continue that.
Absolutely.
And then, of course, I'm going to sound silly, but this is also a school credited class then?
It is a 4-credit elective class.
Perfect.
So they can choose to take it, and they will earn credit just like any other elective.
Oh, perfect.
And we're working on getting academic credit for some of the projects like we've been talking about. Miranda's taking young people out to tours, actually project-based learning in some environments. have some academic ties to them so they can help in that way too. But we're not all the way there yet. We're still working on
Getting there.
Getting there.
We'll let her work on that.
Right.
You've got enough. You've got 50, or technically now 200 all total between the three of you specialists.
Yeah, and we do follow up. We are in contact with our graduates, or a minimum of monthly, oftentimes more than that. And just checking in. Do they need anything? Do they need help renewing a scholarship? Do they need help applying for a job? Are they struggling in a class? Do they need assistance with anything? Just that transition is really difficult, and I think that's hard for kids because most of what they've known is being in school from kindergarten to 12th grade, and they've always had a resource, a counselor, just that support system, and then they graduate and we hand them their diploma and say good luck, and then they're by themselves, and it's terrifying.
Right.
I remember when I was in that position thinking, so I'm an adult now, I don't know how to adult. I don't, what do I do? And so really just having that extended follow-up where they still have that resource for like that gentle transition. Like we're not just going to drop you off and drive away. We're going to hang out and check on you and make sure that we are here if you need us. So we have helped kids with tons of things. Sometimes they just want to talk. They're at college, they're lonely, it's difficult, they miss their friends, they miss their community. And
or they need an update on the resume,
yeah,
or interviews.
Exactly. They do. I'm applying for this job, or hey, I'm taking this class, and it's just really great to watch them succeed and see where they go. I know we're still relatively new. I mean, IJAG's been around for almost 23 years. So for us, it's like it'll be several years before my students are really kind of out there, doing maybe their final destination job. So I can't wait to see what they do and just see where they've gotten.
What's probably been your favorite one, like core memory that has graduated so far?
Oh, like my favorite success, like my favorite student. Oh, I don't know. I had a student who came to me my first year, and she actually moved away for a little bit, for about a year, and she came back, and I got to teach her senior year. And that's how I ended up being faculty at graduation. The student had gone to the principal and said, I wouldn't be graduating without this program and without Ms. Durham. I really want her to hand me my diploma at graduation. And so that's kind of not how it's set up to do. I mean, Mr. Hoganson and our superintendent get that honor, but he said, this is really important to your students, and it's not just that one. And he invited me to come and be part of faculty for graduation, and I get to sit in the front row in my own gown and hood and take pictures and cheer them on and watch her graduate. And we have some really amazing pictures of all of us together, and those are up on the board in our classroom. The students, if they meet the requirements of the program, their community service and all of their work, they get a white stole to wear at graduation. It says IJAG in their year, and they get to keep that, and they are so proud to have that distinction, and they love getting to wear that. And so we have some fantastic pictures. We have one up in the classroom. Like, this is what we're here for. This is the goal, is to go out and do great things.
I think that's a great reminder too.
Yeah,
with the diploma. You cannot forget that. That's the core part of it.
Right.
I think that's really neat. It's just, you come in, especially ninth grade, your freshman year, you're nervous beyond belief, and you see that picture and it's like, okay, that's where I want to be.
I can get there.
Yeah.
And I think that's the hard thing, is sometimes it feels like it's a lifetime away, and it's just this insurmountable obstacle, and it's not. Sometimes you just need a little help over that wall.
Yeah, just a little push.
Just a little shove from me. But repeatedly, that they probably get sick of. But no, they all can do it. And we have had a couple of students who have finished the non-traditional way. We've gotten them registered for the high set exam, they've gotten a GED, but it's still, they have done it. And and we never know things that are going to come up in their lives, but the goal is to not ever tell, well, you failed. Failing to me is not making a mistake or not succeeding at something. It's giving up and stopping the drive to try. So sometimes we stumble, sometimes we fall down hard. I've done it myself in my own life more than I'd like, but the important thing is getting back up again and continuing on that journey, even if the path looks slightly different than it did before. And sometimes people just need a hand to help them up.
Yeah, it's progress, not perfection.
Absolutely.
Your goals are never a straight line uphill. There's going to be so many hills.
Yes.
And that's just life. You You can't always say, I wish I can do this, I wish I can do that. Well, then work for it, do it, create those small action steps, and let's help you get there. And that's exactly what you're doing with these students. I do have to read a quote from Muscatine High School principal. From the moment she was hired at Muscatine High, she established herself as a valued member of our education community. She is caring, dedicated, and professional. She holds her students as well as herself to high levels of accountability. Students don't slip through the cracks when they are under her care and guidance.
Isn't that amazing?
Isn't that so neat?
Mr. Hoganson has been so amazingly supportive of me and our program and just all of our students in general. And he is leaving us at the end of the year. He's finally going to retire. So that will be a hard loss for the district and the school, but I know they'll find someone, you know, great to step into that role. But and that's what I was saying when I said I couldn't do it alone. If I hadn't had the support of Mr. Hoganson and our counselors and our assistant principals and just the staff, it wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
If they didn't support us, we couldn't thrive. But I am very lucky to do what I do. I love what I do and who I do it for, and I'm very lucky to do it where I do it. This Muscatine's a great community, and we, unfortunately, we're not as active in the community as we wanted to be. COVID definitely killed our plans. Our regular model killed that for a while, but this year, everyone's
healthy. The show's
going
to help us.
Yeah, everyone's healthy, knock on wood, and we are going to be, you're going to see us out there. So.
Well, I love everything that I've heard. I mean, you're just sitting here and talking to you for the first time. You're very humble, you're very supportive, caring, you are determined, and I think that is just really strong core elements that students need. They just need that extra push without the maybe a good kick in the butt every now and then. But in a gentle way.
In a gentle and loving way.
Yes, gentle, loving way. We all just need that little kick of motivation. And I think you apply that really greatly.
Thank you.
You're welcome. In the kindest of words, you do great.
Thank you.
Perfect. Is there anything else you'd like to share with us, ladies?
Just thank you, Autumn, for recognizing that you have some really great leaders in this community that are humble and kind of sometimes tuck back away, but they're doing amazing things to change this community one kid at a time.
Yes, again, thank you for the opportunity to come on and talk about our program. I do. I mean, when you're passionate about something, it probably shows maybe a little too much. But this is just such a great place to be. I mean, our community, our school, and I'm just happy to be a part of it. So thanks for letting us come on and talk about it.
Well,
and
congratulations for all of the hard work that you've done.
Thank you.
Doing amazing. I love it. I think this is neat. The community of Muscatine is amazing. I love all the job shadows, getting involved in the community activity. I mean, there's always something going on in Muscatine.
Absolutely.
So always great opportunities for volunteering. You know, they are looking for food truck fight student volunteers.
Well, there we go.
So,
and who doesn't like something that involves food? That's what I say. My kids are very food motivated. We'll be picking up some hot Cheetos before we head back.
Oh, there we go.
Bring back treats.
Got to get the hot Cheetos. They're delicious. A little spice in your life.
That's right.
Perfect. Well, thank you again, ladies, so much, and congratulations again.
Thank you.
You're amazing. Perfect. Muscatine, remember we've got 2 events. We have Business After Hours on Thursday from Rebuilding Together at Muscatine County, and then the Muscatine Community Block Party is this Friday. It's the 12th year anniversary for it, so go out to Discovery Park, and that is going to be from 5:30 to 7:30. If you need additional parking, go over to Crossroads, and Musca Bus will take care of you and shuttle you back to the Discovery Park. Until then, have a happy and healthy rest of your day, Muscatine.
We've all been through a lot together, and along the way, you'll find out who really cares for you and who you can trust. Because there's a lot of stuff that happens in life, like those days when the amazing happens, or those days that are really, really hard. That's why you need someone like Unity Point Health. Because when it comes to your health, you